Vav. We did Order 46, explaining the Vot of the Rebbe Rashab from Ayin Beis in a new light, in the context of what we're learning here, what the Rebbe has revealed here. And that is, right, the essence of it is the two statements that on the surface contradict each other. Mitzvahs betelis lasid lavoi, on the one hand. On the other, Halochos shel Torah שבעל שאינן betelis לעולם. And after exploring all of the details and the sources and the quotes and the contexts, the answer is that the performance of the commandments as expressed in the Halochos are forever. What becomes obsolete, as it were, is the need to command it, the mitzvah component. The mitzvah in essence remains, but the mitzvah is a commandment which implies a separation and the choice. God, the commander, the Jew, the commanded, the world, the commanded, and the mitzvah, the commandment, are three things. But lasid lavoi, when Hashem echad u'shmo echad, and Yisrael v'yiraisa v'kashabricha kol echad, and that truth is revealed in creation, there's no need to command. So the mitzvahs will happen, the divine will happen organically. The nekuda is that the mission, the external, there's two dimensions to the mitzvah for our purposes here. The external and the pnimius. The external component of every commandment is the agenda. It's to connect, to fix, to build, to rectify. We're building the dira, as it were. But once that's done, that dimension of the mitzvah is no longer necessary. That's what's batel. What's batel is the external dimension of the mitzvah as a means to an end. And what remains is the essence of the mitzvah, which is a ratzon atzmi, the expression of the very essence of Hashem, which transcends reason. It is because it is. And there, the essence of mitzvahs are not about achieving something, but rather, to put this in direct and simple language, then will be revealed that the point of the mitzvahs is the relationship. Period. The external dimension of the mitzvahs, everything we do in order to facilitate that relationship. Fix the world, fix the body, fix the soul, elevate to all the things, tshuva, all the components of avodas Hashem. And avodas Hashem means, on an external level, ibud oiris means to transform raw hide and make it into supple leather. That's what avodah implies, is transformation. That component is over. We got there. We built the house. We're close. So what's now? Now enjoy each other. It's not an agenda to the mitzvah. It's the connection period, the relationship. There's no bridge to gap. There's no resistance to overcome. That component is batel. In the era, he says, to be more specific, as the Sikh will go on to explain, in the era of Tchias HaMeisim, there's still an element of, I explained yesterday, giving you a heads up where this is going so you don't get confused or lost. There's an element of birah that happens even in Yemais HaMashiach, which is why there'll still be mitzvahs, classical mitzvahs and commandments. And moreover, the birah then will be of a higher order, a more refined birah of the world, hence the halacha will be like Beis Shammai. Because Beis Shammai is Gevurah, and the Sherish of Gevurah is higher than Chesed. And Gevurah is all about Aliyah, Melamata Lamayla. And Chesed is all about Melamayla Lamata. So till the whole Avodah till now has been Damshacha Velikus in the world, bringing it down to the world. But now that the world has been engaged with the Likus, now is the refinement, the internal, delicate, subtle refinement that happens from within. So we said yesterday, it's like building the raw building. That's Beis Hillel. And Beis Hillel is lenient because you're not fussy about the bricks and the mortar. It's just basically done. It's not nuanced in detail. Digging a foundation is not nuanced. And putting up the walls of the house and then so on is not a nuanced thing. But the closer you get to the finish, the more nuanced it becomes. And then when the actual house is built and it's the decoration, as it were, which makes it livable. Till then it's not livable, despite the Herculean efforts and work and time and expenditure over the millennia in making the world ourselves a direle yisbarach. It's not livable. It's not livable. Admo, it's a place of pain and suffering and concealment. It's intolerable. It's only tolerable for one reason, because we're working towards the end objective and we're getting there. And it's a difficult process. One gets sullied and dirtied and even hurt. Construction site's a dangerous place. So what makes it tolerable is we know the end goal. So Moishe Mashiach is already, the building is built, the house is built, and it's the new one. Hence the halacha k'bei Shammai, that's Gevura, the Shoresh. Shammai is all about subtlety and precision. Decorating the home is precision and subtlety, and highly specific and detailed, where things belong and place, and no speck of uncleanliness is tolerated in the home. Should be. Baruch Nias. To some degree, Gashmis too. So there'll still be the Avodah then. Therefore, there'll still be the Shlichus of perfecting the world. That is when in Moishe Mashiach. But as he goes on to explain, by Tchias HaMeisim, then will be revealed the Ratzon Atzmin, then mitzvahs b'telis. Mitzvahs b'telis, you've decorated the house. Done. Now enjoy each other. Push it, enjoy each other, and that's it. Enjoy each other, and that, moreover, the Nekuda is that this enjoy each other is reflected in every detail of your home. It's all expressive of your union, of your hard work and investment to get there. It was all for this moment, and therefore it's expressive of this moment. That's Tchias HaMeisim. Now there's much more to this, but that's the outline. I'm just giving it so we don't get lost. So the Tosfos Bia, now it's continuing now is Vav. As you can see, this is a very, as my Zayda would say, foundational inyan. The Tosfos Bia had more explanation as in Mudgesh, what we're explaining till now, distinguishing between the tzivoy component and the etzem mitzvah. This is underscored in next page, Dia Kalosh and the Beizem Amorim, and looking at the language of these two quotations. They seem to contradict, right? Mitzvahs b'telis lasid love in the one hand, and Halochos Shel Torah Einam b'telim. So they're nullified and not nullified. But if you look at the Dia Kaloshin, we'll see the distinction. One emphasizes mitzvah, the other one Halochos Shel Torah, not stam Halochos. So let's see. Hachilik shebein mitzvahs the Torah. The basic difference between mitzvahs and Torah is mitzvahs, commandments. We're speaking of pashtus. Gidram hutzivui la'odam eich lishnag b'olam. What is it? Their instruction, commandments to a person how he should conduct himself in the world. What does that mean? There's a person, there's a world. Mitzvahs come along and say, this world needs fixing, and this is how you do it. And this is from the get-go. Vayichalolikim is called, no. Vayim Hashvi. Vayichalolikim Vayim Hashvi is called. It's called Malachtai. Asher Bod Elikim. I've said this enough times. Asher Bod Elikim Lases, which they were made to do. Eibishter made to do. What does this mean? This last word, lasa, is what does it mean? Shabbat Elikim. God completed that which He created. So lasis means lisakin, to do. He created it incomplete, and we have to fix it. What's incomplete? It's a perfect world. There's only one thing missing: the truth, the revelation of the Creator. You, wonderful world, but we don't see you. So we have to reveal the Eibishter and fix the world in that way that expresses Him. That's the whole avodah. In square brackets, when Nimtza comes out, Shav Sham mitzvahs eine mishvil te'eles adam v'ha'olam. Sorry. Okay, so meaning that even though the mitzvahs in essence are not for the benefit of the person in the world, because at their core, their essence, their pnimius is liyoysim b'ritzoyin shalakadosh baruch hu, Hashem's essential will. Because Malkim, nonetheless, misyachsim heim la'adam v'olam. They relate to the world. K'shaharotzen hu b'negei la'adam v'olam. He's speaking now mitzvahs, even at their core level. That's the point he's adding here, the nuance he's adding here. Even when we speak about pnimius, but the word mitzvah still means an act that's being done by the person in the world. That's what it means. Mashenk in Torah. So, in summary, what he's saying here is that mitzvah by definition is something that we do in the world, even at its essential level. But Torah to begin with exists prior to creation. There are no mitzvahs before creation. There's nobody to command on any level. Even this Ratzon Atzmi, wills, is misyachas to something else on some level. So there's no mitzvahs before creation, but there is Torah. Chemda Knuza, it's your hidden treasure, before creation, said the Malachim. Halochos Shel Torah, therefore, so the Halochos, which precede creation, they're not commandments. And this is mamash the etzem within the etzem. They're not about instructions to the world. They exist before there was a world. So what are they there? What are the halachas there? Can't call them mitzvahs because they're not commanding anybody or anything. There is no anybody or anything. So they're called halachas, Shel Torah. So what are they? So there, there it's the pure, essential will. Now this is going from the pnimis to the etzem. Kivishu batzmusei mamash, as it is in its essence. As the Gemara says in Shabbos, I wrote myself into and gave myself into Torah. It's Him, not relating to anything else. In another language, in other terms. The level of mitzvahs, the mitzvahs for the world, that the world conduct itself according to His will. But Torah, how do you call it? Precedes the world, and creation. So that level, He bishvil Torah. It's for Torah itself. But what is Torah? Torah reveals down here the essential will of God in a revealed way, the essential will which is beyond creation altogether. Torah is beyond creation altogether. Mitzvah by definition deals with creation. So what's the ultimate? The ultimate is that you should know that the whole creation is garnished mit garnished. It's there because I want to share my essence with you and I want to share it there. That's why it's there.
The mitzvah keep it up in. There's no parents, there's no mitzvah, yeah?
That's right.
But it's the essential will of the Eibishter that keep up with the Eibishter happen even if there's no parents in the world.
Yeah.
Even without it existing.
As it were. And He wants that to be revealed in this world with a physical parent.
But even if there wasn't a world, still His will.
Yeah. L'cha'ura. Not lo pashut, l'cha'ura. I say l'cha'ura because the will incorporates both things. I want this essential will that is beyond creation. I want the creation to know that in creation. So if there wouldn't be a creation, l'cha'ura, the whole nis'ave, the nis'ave is dira b'tachtonim. But what does he want in the tachten? He wants in the tachten Torah. That which is beyond creation should be in the tachten. So what he's simply doing now, he is just simply in the language of mitzvahs and Torah making this simple distinction. The mitzvahs velt betelos. On some level, as I explained before, it means, as I'm spelling it out, because I'm kind of going to the end of the sikha, the need to fix the world is batel. And mitzvah by definition relates to the world. Torah, in contrast to mitzvahs, expresses more because Torah exists before creation. That's going to be forever in the world. That's the diak here. Torah, in contrast to mitzvahs. Mitzvahs, let's conclude. Mitzvahs b'telis lasid lavai. So mitzvahs will be batel b'halachas she'inן b'telim. But the halachas of Torah will not be. Ki lasid lavai yis'ala ha'adam va'olam ledarga shelamaylam ba'olam. Because then we will be connected to a place beyond creation. V'alchein ha'mitzvah shemisyachasim l'olam. The mitzvahs that relate to the world as something separate, b'telis lasid lavai, can become batel. Mashenken halachas shel Torah she'enim misyachasim l'olam. The Torah which is purely kus, ain't b'telim, that's forever, and will be revealed where? In the world.
So what is that, the intellectual part of Torah?
Huh?
Which part of Torah is not misyachas to the world? The intellectual part.
Ultimately, what's not misyachas to the world is the author himself, Atzmos and Torah, which will be revealed in Pnimius HaTorah, and Rashi says, Yishakenim neshikas piu, he kissed me, the kisses of his mouth, that lashon over there, Rashi, Soid ta'ameh or mistat tzvoneiseha. 4 words saying the same thing. Secret of its reasons or mister. I can't even translate it. But the secret, what's the big secret? It's all me in here. So I want you to feel me and know me. That's the big secret. The Yoshev B'Seiser Elyon revealed to us in the most intimate way. So that concluding it, Mashenkin Halochos Shel Torah she'enim said that. Let's go to Zion. So what does it mean? Do mitzvahs today and tomorrow get the reward. What's the reward? She's Gala ba'adam Yisrael that should be revealed in a person, Yidden, and through Yidden the world. Shemekayim mitzvahs that does the mitzvahs in brackets. Val Yodin through him Gam Ba'olam and all of creation. In Yonam HaMiti Shalom mitzvahs, what will be revealed? Schar mitzvah, the truth of the mitzvah, schar mitzvah, mitzvah atzvah, which is Kvishaim b'Torah Shalamayim Ba'olam, will connect to the Eibishter beyond creation, him. V'chol mitziyus Shalom hu shebay miskayim ratzon zeh b'pearl. So what's the world? Not per se, just the expression of him. Again, it's very lofty, but put in simple language. What is a home? The Lord has tremendous detail work at that, tremendous whole investment in it. But what is a home at the end? It's really nothing other than the expression of the ones that live there. And the saddest place in the world is a broken home. And all of this effort was invested and so on, and they're not there. It's a shell, it's empty, it's painful. It's painful. As we know, when it often happens when people lose a loved one and suddenly they can't go back to the bedroom, can't go back to the house. It's very, very difficult. Very difficult. Because this whole thing is just expressed us, and if it's not us here, so what's the value? What's the value of it? Nothing. That's what's going to be revealed, Lasid Love. Okay, it's tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem Monday. Let's look at Orah 49. Orah 49, he brings out how Torah is be'emes higher than the world. And where do we see this? We see this pashut in Torah itself. Look at our foot. In the Baloshan Rabbi Nazakim Sefer Atanya Perekei, the Rebbe speaks there about the mile of Limud Torah and says, "V'af learning anything Torah, even a subject that v'afim lo yiyah hayiv lo yiyah davar zeh la'olam." It's a subject matter that never was, never will be. Ben Seder murder, according to some opinions, never was such a thing. And certainly there are. I think Yiftaka brings there all of the sveikas, a woman who gave birth and she has to bring pigeon's kingdom as a korban, the mix-up between the coat dafka got mixed up. I mean, these are things that the numbers, these are so remote that they never happened. They just never happened. And the ganze Masechta devoted to it, and it's very complex. In brackets, see, Regam Tanya Kuntes Achren. That was Perekei. See also Tanya Kuntes Achren, being in Prote, so I'm referring to now. Prote al Halochos, the details, till they shkichi cloud, that are not common at all. Vev shalehoyim ma'olam b'metzias, and it could never happen, like these mix-ups. So why are you learning it? Because that's indicative of Torah's Hecha from Welt. It's higher than the world. This isn't about what do we do in such a case. Never be such a case. The Ratzon Atzmi.
A lot of the Shakatayim Gemara is never.
Huh?
I mean, a lot of the Shakatayim Gemara is never going to happen either. The case is discussed.
Yeah, scenarios. Exactly. Well, Hoy adds also in my Merazal is a day in Gemara that there was never an Irani Dachas. The Torah itself in Torah Shebiksav devotes a whole parsha to Irani Dachas. And it's a whole sugya. It's a whole perek. Never was, never will be. So what's the point? It's dafken these halachas that the truth of Torah is expressed. Because what is it? Torah is elikus. It's higher than the world. Not about fixing, not an agenda. It's Him. Yodam is gala. So through these halachas that have no practical relevance, they bring to bear. All the other halachas that are genuine needed. How do you live? Don't steal, don't kill. Yeah, well, that's the external. Pnimi said those halachas, and one day will be in this gala. It's not about fixing the world. It's pure the Ratzon Atzmi, and that's the mile of Torah transparently over mitzvahs, which by definition mean you got to do something. So in the Dia Kaloshin of these two statements lies the answer. The mitzvah is b'telis. Halacha shel Torah is not. Clear? Okay.